What? Are you serious? A fire that started at 1:30 this morning, and you can actually hear before work me doing a short, I think probably like 15-minute Spreaker audio cast on the update. It was about 6:07 in the morning when I started that, and it was just before work. I was in my work parking lot, and it was 400 acres at the time, and I don't know how many acres, but I want to let you hear the next update because this is huge. The fire, which is threatening multi-million-dollar homes, now it's bigger. It's being blamed on the opening of an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. So we'll hear about that. I'm just going to turn the radio up. KFI, get yourself the app, the iHeart app, and you can monitor areas like I do. And tune into KFI. They are fire central of the whole state of California. But Arnold Schwarzenegger's opening of a movie, I can't even think of the name of the movie, but I wanted to see it. But then, because of who it is, I don't go around boycotting everything every time. But the guy's got a big mouth, and I'm not even interested in Arnold Schwarzenegger anymore like I used to be, because he's got a big mouth. Stick to acting. Don't be so belligerent. Just express your opinions, but don't be belligerent. But I'm just going to turn the radio up. And it's talk radio.
Share some responsibility, which means you and I are going to share that bill. How much are we willing to put up with? It's tonight at 8. Kogo at night. News Radio 600. Kogo. Coming up, following the news at 5 on the Penrose Report.
That was on
California. Taxes in California. Taxes potentially going up again. We'll tell you what taxes and how we're all going to be hurt by it. Right now, they're talking about another Southern California school district facing a budget shortfall going into the next budget cycle. This one in San Diego. Smile. KFI News. We're on it. John and Ken Show. John Cobell and Ken Shampos. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. I'm getting little bits of information on what may have been the cause of today's fire on the west side.
Here it comes, folks.
And when I can confirm something, I will let you know. But, Garcetti today...
Kogo already
Garcetti today... we'll play the little clip again. He was sure what it wasn't. And he had a new term. He had a new euphemism.
We can't confirm that this was not something that was caused by encampment or by Angelinos who were unhoused.
We can confirm that the fire was not caused by an encampment or Angelinos who were unhoused.
Angelinos who were unhoused.
Angelinos who were unhoused is the latest euphemism of a euphemism from this genius.
Well, here we go. John and Ken,
okay,
they're homeless
we're
central
actively
too.
trying to
They
find
tell
out
all
what the
about
cause
the
is.
homeless
We're
everywhere.
testing our secret inside source channels, and we're going to find out. See if he's telling the truth or not.
Yeah. He doesn't even want to mention
who
it.
were unhoused. We had on...
Let's see.
Yeah, it was last week.
You heard it from me first, folks.
Remember, I think we had him on in this hour. We had the guy on who ran a trucking
How
company.
could that have happened? Fireworks?
Out of Long Beach.
It's okay for everybody
and
else.
And they would take containers
it's okay for me because
truck them over to the city of Commerce.
Schwarzenegger, former California governor.
Out of the port.
Remember
the guy who was on Wheel of Fortune, and he made a joke about his wife and got some attention.
Let's go back to 600.
800-600-5646. Let's go to Chris in San Diego. Chris, you're on Kogo.
Hi.
This is the Penrose report.
We're finding in,
Penrose.
we're at Del Mar.
He took over the radio show time slot, 3 o'clock.
They passed a bond
4 o'clock.
to allow new remodels.
Carl DeMaio. Carl DeMaio is running for the 50th Congressional District, which is my district.
Every last time they had architects come in.
He's going to have to try to rescue it.
We went to talk about it at a school board meeting. And
I always forget this congressman's name, but he followed after his dad's footsteps. He's
some other school boards that want to build as big a school as they
him
can
and his wife are being
all the money
prosecuted
that they're
for
given.
mishandling
And I had the same thought
campaign
that you did. One
funds
of the
to the
reasons
tune
they're
of
remodeling the school is
$200,000
because of the traffic
plus.
in the neighborhood. But I had the same thought you did. Why is it that the price of homes keeps going up?
Yep.
But they don't have money for busing anymore.
Come on, let's talk about
In the New
that
York
fire.
Post by a writer named
That fire is horrible
Wright.
too.
A writer named Jennifer Wright.
Either homes have already been
And she's a
destroyed
freelance writer,
or they're
and
being
she says
threatened.
now under this law, you're not going to believe this, but writers who are based in California can only write up to 25 articles for any particular company. This is all out of the same bill.
So while we
This
wait
bill
for
then
news about
regulates
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
writers. Who ever heard of this? I've never heard of writers being regulated. But they are.
I present to you KFI, the John and Ken Show.
This is how intrusive the legislature is. She writes, I'm
I think it's just
freelancing
John.
this
Ken's
article.
not in today.
Doing so means that I work from home, set my own schedule, and have most days of the
John
week free
Cobell
to
and
write
Ken
books.
Shampoo.
Books provide the bulk of my income, but freelancing
And
provides substantial
listen to
extra money
what's
that
going
my
on in
family
California.
and I
Because
have
this
come to
is
expect.
as California goes.
Over the next year, I'll freelance dozens of
My
articles,
show.
1 or 2 a week. But if I did that in California, I'd be opening my employers up to
News
legal
isn't a
penalties.
show either. I've been thinking about that today. Everybody's
The bill is 85,
podcast and broadcast is called a show. And I
And
think that's why a lot of people, like Carl DeMaio, his program was, I don't want to use the word show, it was called the DeMaio Report. It wasn't called the show.
she's a puppet of the union.
It never refers to it as a show. But
Lorena Gonzalez limited California freelancers to submitting 35 articles to a publication a year. More than 35 articles, you have to be hired by the
I'm trying
company.
to shut up.
Now,
You guys
35,
want to
she
hear
writes,
about
might
Arnold
seem like a lot,
Schwarzenegger, right? I do too.
but that limit makes a weekly column impossible.
Oh my
Let alone
goodness,
working
what
for
could it
online
be?
companies, where you
I'm
might
guessing
submit
fireworks.
A short article or 2 daily and reach that limit within a month. See, this lady Gonzalez has no idea how the writer's economy works.
Somebody waiting in line maybe even tossed a cigarette out somewhere or something. Who knows?
All on a freelance basis.
Somebody threw a cigarette out of their car and they were on their way to the opening of the show. Maybe that's it.
Weekly column to a newspaper, you can't anymore. You have to be
Come on,
hired
you guys,
full-time
get your
for both
news straight.
positions.
They're lagging, I think, because they're like Los Angeles.
Working in California, or even about freelancers.
Hollywood
Every American
is part of
has
Los
fear.
Angeles.
State governments telling adults how to conduct
That's
their
what I
business,
think. I think they're
how to manage
scared.
their lives.
Let the news out. Probably
This bill
something
is
bad,
supposedly
horrible.
designed to encourage employers to hire people more full-time. But there's many reasons people might not want to be employed full-time. You want to work from home? That's a huge benefit if you're parenting of a young child. Or you have to care for people with mental health issues or the elderly. We should be able to choose the lives we want to live. It's not a crime not to want to go to an office
I'm going to turn
every
back
single
to
day.
Kogo again. See if
And-
they're talking about it.
Unified 68% in 1 year.
And yet they're still short $19 million going into next year.
Nope, they're not talking about it. This should be
I
big
mean,
news.
it's
It's because of where we're at, folks.
Right? I mean, how can that
Southern
possibly be?
California,
The
San
fact
Diego, and
that,
Los
you know,
Angeles
the
stations.
property
They're not
taxes are
talking
based
about
on
it.
the purchase price of the house, and
But
everybody's
I heard it
talking
from
about how
Kogo.
expensive home ownership here
KOGO.
is in San Diego County. In
AM
fact,
600,
most of the
San
Southland.
Diego's
It's a known topic.
San
So
Diego's
the
number one talk radio.
beneficiary of rising home prices is the school districts. Yeah, they're the ones that are currently located. Now, why?
Well, let's see how long they can wait then. What time is it? 4:44
Lorena Gonzalez woman.
p.m. The 28th of October, Monday.
Because they created a coalition of 20 writers and photographers associations to work with Gonzalez. They wanted an exemption for freelance writers. And she said, well, we won't give you a blanket exemption.
9 minutes and 45 seconds ago that I started this podcast.
Well, they wanted at least, the coalition wanted 52 articles so people could write one column a week and be freelancing for a publication.
It is still 4:44 right now. So it's 4:34 Pacific time when I started this. So I'm driving across through a couple of towns up here in North County. I just got off work at about 3:30. Went to the store and got some food, and I'm on my way to pick up my niece. We're going to have family dinner tonight. So I've got time.
Well, why can't you leave me alone and leave them alone? Who the hell is this woman, Lorena Gonzalez?
Isn't technology cool?
Who elected her to regulate how much people write?
Now, if I could be Mikey on the spot, you know, like Johnny on the spot, everywhere, anywhere, anytime, that would be totally cool. Because all hell is breaking loose in California. There's too much news going on. And it's the most aggravating thing for me not to be able to be around when it happens. Talking about it. I just love history, I guess. I really do. And I have so many recordings.
In Southern California, that fire that started near the Getty Center has burned more than 600 acres. 8 homes have been confirmed lost. 5 have been damaged. We are hearing that there is going to be some kind of a news conference on this fire around 5 o'clock. So, of course, KFI will bring that to you live. The brush fire that burned around 10 acres along the 101 freeway in Calabasas has been knocked down. LA County Fire says no buildings were damaged and no one was hurt. The National Weather Service has issued red flag warnings for LA and Ventura County valleys and mountains, and for much of OC and the IE. The Santa Ana winds from the north to the northeast have returned along with low humidity. But
20 minutes before they say
anything around 6
about
tonight, but another round of Santa Ana is expected to arrive tomorrow night. We will go back
What'd
to
they say, 640
and
acres? It was 400 this morning, and
if you're embarrassed by erotic decay,
at around 7 minutes after 6. And it's grown a couple hundred acres. I think on Kogo they said that there's no containment on it. Back to Kogo.
Richard discovered Great Life Now. If you would like an all-natural and effective way to help curb your sugar cravings, lose unwanted pounds and inches,
folks,
and
but you can
regain
hear
energy,
about Southern
then
California
go to GreatLifeNow.com and learn how Great Life Now can naturally and effectively help block your sugar cravings, melt body fat, and boost energy. Go to GreatLifeNow.com.
That's when
GreatLifeNow.com.
the Schwarzenegger movie is going to
call me at 800-333-5157. This is Kevin Lyon at anchorfunding.net.
Equal housing lender.
BRE number 01276087. NMLS number 236419. Not all applicants qualify. Loans made or arranged pursuant to the Department of Business Oversight California Financial Lending Law.
All packages for a living? A gas-powered Mercedes-Benz Sprinter delivers. Transport people?
And they're multi-million-dollar homes, too. Multi-million-dollar homes in Southern California is, of course, it's like a $1 million home in Nebraska. Or Central Oregon still. I lived in Central Oregon for 7 years. Man, that place was booming. Come on, news. Let's talk about the fire. Kogo already let the cat out of the bag, but they're not mentioning it again.
Alexa, play AM 600 on iHeartRadio.
And an immediate cash offer on your home. Go to AskTellerTheHomeseller.com.
Join the conversation.
station on Facebook.
Wow, it's so bright I couldn't even see if the light was still green or not.
Talking about these school districts that are having all kinds of problems, budgetary problems. One in particular here in San Diego County, Vista Unified School District, $19 million they're short going into next year. They're saying it's because of 5 years of declining enrollment, but there's no way. What is that? Is that 400?
You're going to hear it from me
5 years,
first.
2,000 students. That's 400 kids, district-wide 400 kids a year over the last 5 years. That they're short. But I guarantee you in the last 5 years, property values in Vista have gone up. In fact, I know that's the case. So truly these...
So let's hear about the schools.
The rationale for these things just don't pencil out. But they're saying they can't cover basic fixed costs, electricity, building repairs, administrative staffing. They say those have to come from general fund.
Let's go back to KFI.
It's just never ending with these...
Dental issues can be.
When you've got 10 to 12 teeth missing.
Man, those radio stations make bank. And then when you listen to people's podcasts, the syndicated shows, the podcasts like Mark Levin, Rush Limbaugh, you listen to all their commercials, and then the radio station's commercials, and the radio station's news,
one of the greatest decisions of my life. To get rid of the dentures, to get my life back on track. Dental implants can change everything. Something our doctors see every day.
So what's good about the podcast is you don't get all the weather reports, traffic reports.
Visit us at clearchoice.com.
You don't even get the podcast experience. Some of them they may have one or two throughout the
We're happy to crawl through your attic and dig through your basement. Point at a sleeper sofa. Gone. Point at a beautiful garden shed. Gone. Point at a big old freezer. Gone.
Big shots like Rush Limbaugh, Mark Levin, to say, and we'll be right back.
We work until midnight,
Every 3
7 days a
minutes.
week. Just call us 90 minutes before you need us to be there.
That's why I like podcasts.
Or visit 1-800-GODJUNK.com. I've been sitting here for years and I'm still not used
That's
to
why
it.
on my podcast I want to
That's why
be
I decided to go
supported
to Advanced Hair.
instead of having to
I wanted
do
to try their
commercials.
advanced FUE treatment. And I gotta tell you, I was a little nervous. And I
Somebody
wondered,
wants
is
me
it
to
really
plug
gonna be a
in
breakthrough? Will my hair
their
really grow
business
back in
for
days?
support, I'll do
Will
that.
advanced FUE be any different from the treatment I had 20 years ago?
The trick to that is, if you notice,
Will I feel more
they'll
confident?
go from talking about their
The
issues
hardest part was making the
talking
decision.
about a
There's
product.
always an excuse for not taking care of
They go
yourself.
right into it live.
Busy, always another 6 months. Honestly, making the
a live
appointment with
plug.
Advanced Hair Restoration was
Takes
one of the
about
best
15
decisions
sections
ever.
sometimes
And you
to
should
go,
know
hey,
too.
this guy's
All
talking
your
about
kids,
beds,
just like us.
sheets.
None of us are getting any
You're
younger.
not talking about
Call now, be one of
the
first
Mueller
15
report.
callers and get $250 off your treatment. Advanced Hair has offices in Orange County, Beverly Hills, Thousand Oaks, and now East Los Angeles. Just dial pound 250 on your cell phone and say the keyword Advanced Hair. Pound 250 Advanced Hair, or go to
And these
advancedhair.com.
guys are on every single day of the work
Hey,
week.
have you heard about that insane story about the couple from Corona?
I'm not like that. There's no way that I'm going to be blabbing my mouth for an hour every single day at the same
interest
time.
rate down from 5% to fixed at 3%.
When I come to
$1,800
people
a month in interest
on
alone.
my podcast, it's usually about something very pertinent.
Partner bails on him. That left him with $798,000 in business and credit card debt, a $150,000 fine from the franchise tax board. But listen to this: Oak Tree Law gets involved. They're able to eliminate the $798,000 in business and credit card debt and get rid of the $150,000 from the tax
We're
board.
still not talking
You're
about
behind
it.
on your mortgage or you're sick of
Got
struggling
7 more
with any
minutes
kind
till
of
the top of
business
the hour
tax or
news.
credit card debt. Oak Tree Law.
Indeed, Robert, you're on Kogo.
I wanted to offer you another thing on streams of money the school districts get. The overlooked developer fees. For example, every commercial building, homes in the world, even the homeless pays developer fees to the school. For example, a simple 2,000 square foot home,
Yeah.
if you build it in the city, in the district, it costs approximately $7,000 you pay directly to the school district. Think about that for all the apartments they build, how much money they collect on that.
So when you factor that in, I go back to my same pencil, equation. I mean, the school district should be floating in cash. I mean, there should be so much cash like they've never had before. Yeah, we're not even the average. We're not even average.
So I'm about 2 minutes blocks away from my niece's house. I'm not even going to tell her that we're on live. Maybe I should because of ethics, right? Should I tell her that we're live? Or should I just conversate?
In the county of San Diego, for just primary.
No, I'll tell her we're live. Nickname is Chewy. I say, hey, Chew, we're live because I want to be the breaker of the news. I'm Mike on the mic. Johnny on the spot. Only see the view that I can see for over 50 miles right now. Mountains and hills. I'm on old 395 right now. Just a two-laner. Goes all the way through the countryside. Alongside the 15 North County.
So we are only fed what they need to feed us. Does that make sense?
Yes. No, I understand that.
I'll go ahead and record it, well, you're going to hear it live, and I'll use the recording.
Often counterproductive as a taxpayer, because they're looking out for their own interests, and they're the ones that are controlling all the numbers, they're controlling all the information packets that you get on Tuesday night.
Recording for a future podcast. Can't be tonight because I'm busy. I got family around. They call me and everything when I'm trying to record. I've already been through that.
Members of a board of, in this case, a school district.
And that's why I need support.
I understand it's challenging.
I need support so bad.
I mean, you have, in the case of Vista Unified School District, the one gentleman's property tax went up 68%.
And Californians aren't going to be able to get on a plane and fly anywhere after, I think October, November, December. Sometime in November, I think. Without what they call a real ID. Every state is going through this. So I'm going to be getting one of those pretty soon. I have a passport, but it's expired. But it's easier to just get a real ID. So you either have to have a passport or a real ID card. In order to get your real ID card, you have to have your state ID or driver's license, your social security card, and your birth certificate. And that's a bummer having to produce all that all the time, even though the Department of Motor Vehicles already has all that. You got your fingerprint and everything. More minutes, folks, to the top of the hour. Let's go back to KFI.
Nationwide talk and text is always included. See for yourself with the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator. Go to SpectrumMobile.com.
By Angelinos who are in house, or maybe an encampment, we don't know. But what Garcetti is saying with
so if you hang tight, you'll hear it right on here. And then I'll go ahead and terminate this podcast.
The news conference will announce this definitively, and it'll be something else. But I'm just wondering, because I live near here, there is no reason to be on Sepulveda Boulevard at 1:30 in the morning. It's either a 2 or a 4-lane road. There are no homes on either side. In that stretch, there are no businesses. It's near the Getty Center. There's really nowhere to walk even, or even bike. It's, it's cutting through the pass there. So who's there? I mean, it could be a spark from a car, sure, but I don't know. What could it be? There is absolutely no reason to be walking around here at 1:30 in the morning. It's impossible. There's nothing there. It's dark. There's a lot of exhaust from the 405. So we'll see. We'll see if Garcetti is telling the truth. Somebody knows by now. I know they know. John and Ken Show, KFI, and Deborah Marquez News, KFI AM 640.
Los Angeles, Orange County. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Fire update. I'm Deborah Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour news. The fire near the Getty Center has burned more than 600 acres, destroyed at least 8 homes. KFI's Chris Ancarlo reports live. Firefighters have used some new tools to get ahead of the fire.
Some of those tools include better mapping of the fire, which has helped them to basically put the flames down. We don't see really any active flames at this point, and some of the tools were handy in getting people out of the way of the fire.
Anybody who is within the perimeter of the fire was sent a WIA alert, wireless emergency alert. That's where your cell phone goes off with that information.
LA City Fire Chief Ralph Traza says that alert, along with other alerts, including old-fashioned knocking on doors and police through bullhorns, helped to make sure that people were out of here before the fire really swept up and ended up destroying some of those homes. And now, toward the end of the day, as the sun's getting ready to set, there is very little visible smoke. As a matter of fact, the Pacific Ocean is well within view, and it looks as though the winds have shifted from offshore to onshore as the day has progressed ever more so, and just some hand crews working along the tops of these ridgelines, putting down whatever hotspots they find. Reporting live, Chris Ancarlo, KFI News.
Firefighters have been trying to stay focused and energized as they fight wildfires.
Hundreds of firefighters have been going non-stop for the last several weeks, which is why refueling and resting is so important for these guys. Crews are set up at UCLA's Jackie Robinson Stadium.
It has everything that we need when it comes to hot meals, and sleeping trailers come in so crews can get some good rest, because as you can see, it's very arduous work when you're out there on the fire line.
And LA Fire Captain Brendan Silverman says help is on the way.
We always have additional resources because we know this is going to be a long-term operation.
Santa Ana winds could pick up as early as tomorrow, so crews are trying to put out as many hotspots as possible to prevent any flare-ups. At the Fire Command Post in West LA, Monica Ricks, KFI News.
Firefighters in Northern California have been
I had to
fire in
park.
Sonoma County's wine country. It's burned more than 66,000
And it's
acres.
5:01.
Holding size yesterday, and that did present some challenges for us.
Incident Commander Mike Blankenheim says the priority today is in the
that
northeastern
news
corner
conference
of the
on the
fire.
cause of the
Sonoma
fire
County
is
Sheriff
coming
Mark
right
Essex
up,
says
so hang tight.
evacuation orders are still in place because it's dangerous for people to go home.
Areas that have been burned have utilities down. We still have fire crews in there. People are working.
The fire started last week and has been pushed by extremely heavy winds. It has destroyed 96 buildings, including at least 40 homes. The news is brought to you by MyCalChoice.com. A high school in La Crescenta was on lockdown for a short time because of a gun scare. People had called the cops. All right, we are going to go to the news conference right now on the fire on the west side.
There's 5% of it that we are 100% confident will not grow. That doesn't mean the other 95% is out of control. It remains where it is, in place, with amazing muscle and work coming from our fire crews that are out there right now. Over 1,100 personnel still fighting this fire. For folks that are out of their homes, again, we have resources for you, and I'm sure you want to know the latest information. Councilmember Bonin is going to talk about some limited repopulation of areas. For the great majority of folks, we are not repopulating tonight, and because of extreme wind, we expect tomorrow at about 11 p.m. We've looked back at the historic record of 1961 fire and other, of how it jumps. So you should be prepared for 2 nights at least that you will, the overwhelming majority of folks, will be out of your homes. That said, Westwood Rec Center and also Palisades Rec Center will stay open 24 hours. Folks are not asked for identification. Names are not turned over to anybody. Authorities, so those are welcome refuges for anybody. The Red Cross has done an amazing job, and I want to thank them personally. I visited there with Councilmember Bond and Councilmember Koretz earlier. We saw folks with their pets. Again, we have the West LA and West Valley animal shelters for small animals and Hanson Dam for large animals. Let me turn it over to the chief because I want to cut to the chase, not have long press conferences, but get the information that you need. I'll then have Councilmember Bonin talk about which areas will be repopulated. School board member Nick Mulvoin will talk about the schools that will be closed tomorrow, and Assembly member Richard Bloom will tell you about the 405 and the reopenings there. So first, let's go to Chief Terrazas.
Thank you, Mayor. Since our last briefing, things continue to progress very well. We're making good progress. Tomorrow we expect to make even more progress. The winds are not expected to pick up until tomorrow evening. So right now we're planning to activate the no parking.
Well, you guys aren't going to hear it from here. So I want to go ahead and X this podcast.